Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review, and I'm here today to talk to you about Some Girls Season 1, Episode 1. I love Some Girls. It's a British comedy show. I can't believe I've actually never spoken of this show. This is the show that actually got me interested in Dairy Girls. They're both hilarious. They're both funny. Who revolves around like these teen like boarding school type girls. And so, like, that's one reason why earlier this year now, I'm just like, man, because, like, I've been wanting to talk about this show for, like, the longest time, but I never got around to it last year. I was always, like, talking about something else. And then I'm just like, you know what, this year, I want to start talking about all the shows I've been wanting to talk about, but haven't talked about. Because I don't want, like, another year to pass, and then I don't talk about this stuff. So that's why I've been reviewing, like, the first episodes of, like, like, certain shows and stuff. And Some Girls is one of those. It revolves around a group of girls just going through the motions of high school life, but in a zany, crazy kind of way. And each girl has like a different personality and stuff. This show only lasted for like 3 seasons. And sadly, I wish it could have like lasted a whole lot longer than that. I mean, it's hilarious. Now, this show is on DVD, only the first season, but sadly, if you live in a certain region, then you can't watch it. Since I live in America, I can't buy it on DVD because my DVD player just won't do it. I have to have one of those multi-regional type things, which I don't have. If I can find one that has like a Blu-ray, oh, I would so get it. But those things are kind of expensive, and you can't even really find them no more. And so, like, when I first watched this show is when I got Hulu many years ago. And when I got Hulu, like, I think this came out in 2016, I think. And so, like, first they had it on Hulu. Then Hulu took it off. Then they had it on Amazon. I'm not sure if Amazon still has it or not, but now it's on the Roku TV thing for free. So that's awesome. You can watch it for totally free instead of having to pay for it and stuff. And yeah, every episode is on there and it's just hilarious. The show starts off with the main girl named Viva. I've never heard a name like that before. And so like she's just talking about like, her group of friends and what it's like to like live her life. And we see she lives in an apartment complex, and as she's like walking through the apartment place, she's saying hey to like all the people. And then there's these two guys. They're like teenagers. They're like, one's in a shopping cart and the other one's like pushing it. And he always pushes the dude like in like a tree or a pole or something, and he falls out. And they do it like 2 times in this episode, but in the third time, she makes him just like, go down the sidewalk path and stuff. This show is zany and crazy. Don't take this show seriously. They do talk about serious stuff, but it's always in a crazy, zany type manner. We're then introduced to a girl named Mel. Don't get attached to Mel. Mel don't last that long in this series. She's only in 4 episodes. The actress actually says she wished she could have been in more and explore her character, but for some reasons the writers didn't want to do it. Mel is Viva's like ghetto friend who's always sitting on a bench. She smokes cigarettes and she has a baby named Baldy. She had to drop out of school because she had a baby and stuff. She's a little moody, slightly sassy. Viva always asking, what do you want? Have you ate breakfast? And she's like, no. And Viva's always giving her a banana and stuff like that. Because that's just how like nice she is. But like I said before, Mel's not really in the show. So even though they're friends, she's not one of the group of Viva's group. Now we're going to get into the first person of Viva's group. And that is Amber. Amber is probably my all-time favorite, only because she is like dumb as rocks. She is literally insane in the head. She's goofy, she's wacky, she's silly, but she has a heart of gold and everything. She has this on-again, off-again boyfriend named Brandon. Side note, her boyfriend Brandon It's the dude who played Jefferson, Firestorm from Legends of Tomorrow. He was in the first two seasons of Some Girls, but in the third one, he's completely absent. That's probably because he was in Canada filming Legends and stuff. So Amber rides her bike to school and she gives Viva like a ride halfway to like the bus stop, and she's just talking about like how like her and Brandon aren't really getting along that well and all this other stuff, and like talking about what she's always talking about something zany, like she's just nuts in the head. That's why I love her so much. But then the thing about her and Brandon is that they're on again, off again. He doesn't appreciate her. He ends up cheating on her. He ends up cheating on her with his sister at one point. So she keeps wanting to break up with him, but every time she tries to break up with him, he gives her the puppy dog look, and it just breaks her heart, and she can't do it and stuff because he's always wanting some, and she's getting tired of wanting some. She's all like, because she said like while they do it, like she's now thinking about like other stuff as they like clickety clacking. She's like looking at his goldfish and wondering why the goldfish got so fat. She's just like not into him no more and stuff. So then Viva gets to school and she's in the girls' locker room because she plays soccer. But over there they call it football. And so when they're in the girls' dressing room, they're like changing and everything. And we're introduced to her other two friends. One is Zaz. Zaz is the smart one of the group. She overthinks things. She overanalyzes things. She's weird and quirky and everything like that. Her thing is that, like, okay, say like a guy is nice and opens the door for her, she'll be all like, do I look like I'm handicapped to you? I'm just like, what? And then, like, when she's giving her order to, like, do at the restaurant, she's all like, do I need to repeat it for you again and everything? So she's one of those types, you know? And so her arc in this episode is that she's helping out this one girl who's Muslim because she has like no friends, men bullies, so she's just taking her around school and stuff like that. Because Zaz herself is not really sure what exactly she is. She's either Indian, Pakistani, or like something or another. I'm not really sure. I know a lot of like people that look like Zaz in London are Pakistani, so she might be that. I'm not really sure. And so, like, but Zaz is really cool, and she wears her hair in like the coolest way all the time. She has like this long, beautiful hair, always wears it in a very unique ponytail and stuff. Then we get to Holly, which Holly is insane. Holly is the mean one of the group. Like, she's very flirtatious, she's very rude, she's very blunt. And when she don't like you, she wants to like punch you. Problem is, she can no longer punch nobody because her third strike, then she's on the juvie and everything. So she takes her anger out on everything else. She rips up paper, she throws out toilets out the window, she breaks things like that prevents her from like punching somebody in the face. So I like when the girls like all like, you know, changing and everything. Like Amber's talking about how she really wants to break up with Brandon, but she just can't because I told you before the whole puppy dog thing. And so she's debating on what she should do, and but she just can't decide. Then all of a sudden when she's undressing, everybody's like staring at her chest. Why? Because after they did it and she fell asleep, he wrote in a black Sharpie, "These are mine," over her chest, and he named both of them. Oh, so she's very adamant now that she is gonna break up with him. Like she just knows it, but she needs help doing it, right? So the girls go out to like play soccer, aka football, in London and stuff. And so while they're there, their coach is giving them a hard time like always. She's this woman from New Zealand, and she's talking about, I don't want what happened last year. I don't want what happened in the incident. And so I'm like, what's the incident and everything? Well, it turns out, because it happens again and again and again when you watch the show. Every time they're about to lose or get really pissed while playing soccer, they start playing a little rough. They start like clotheslining people, kicking people, punching people, beating up the other team and stuff. So they all get in trouble for that, like again. And then so Viva really hates the coach. So they're all doing push-ups, and when Viva goes home, we see her father named Rob. And Rob's a very neglectful father. He's just playing video games. Now, the dude who plays her dad, I forget his real name. I'll do it in a rundown review. This dude is very famous. I have seen this man in everything. He played Oliver's stepfather in the first season of Arrow. He was General Zod in Krypton. He was in the first Resident Evil movie as number one. Like the dude, he was in those James Bond movies back in the 90s. Like this man has been in like everything. And then we see his girlfriend come in. Wouldn't you know it's Anna, the soccer coach. She hates Viva, Viva hates her. But the dad doesn't care, that he just loves his girlfriend. And Viva's all like, I heard a rumor you're like pregnant and everything. And Viva's all like, aren't you gonna try to deny it? And she's all like, well, we got something to tell you. Viva is pissed off. She's all like, how can you make a baby? Don't you ever use condoms and everything like that? And she's all like, where is this baby gonna live and everything? And they're all like, well, when you go off to college, we're just gonna put the baby in your room. She's like, what? You're kicking me out already? Well, screw this, I'm gonna leave. And not only does she leave, she runs away from home. This is a 15-year-old girl we're talking about. Now her brother Jamie comes in. There's a really funny thing he does. It's funny, gross, but he doesn't do it in this episode. Thank God. All he does is play video games in this episode. So, like, when she runs away from home, she goes and stays with Amber in the first night. And so, like, she's just complaining to Amber about what all happened. Amber's all like, do you want one of my mom's pills? They'll, like, mellow you out. Well, them pills are pills. And when we see Viva next, she's just kind of like sitting there waving in a very zombie-like state and everything. But Amber, not Amber. I kept saying Amber. I've been saying Holly. That's who she's staying with right now, Holly. And Holly gives her like the pill and stuff like that. And then Holly has like all these brothers and sisters, and so like Amber comes over, and Amber's all like, I need your help, Holly. I need you to pretend to be Brandon, and then so I can pretend to break up with you. So when they're role playing, Amber actually thinks that Holly is messing around by grabbing her boobs and talking about, hey girl, you want this and all this other stuff. But no, that's how Brandon actually is, and it's spot on. So like when Amber goes to his place, he's all like, my mom's gone, like we only got 10 minutes to do it. And then she's like, no, I didn't come here for that. So she tries to break up with him, but he does the puppy dog thing. And then he's all like filling her up and everything, just the same way Holly did. Like it was like spot on. Well, eventually they don't break up because he kind of like begs a little bit. And she's all like, fine, I'll stay with you, but there gotta be some rules and everything. You can't write on me no more, and you can't be going through my phone, and I need my space and like all this other stuff. And so he says, he's gonna try and everything. Try is the main word. So of course they do it. So when they're at school, Amber tells him, she didn't break up with him, and she keeps complaining more and more about how like jealous he is, and how girls are jealous of her that she's with him, and how they like tear up her bike and stuff. And so then like she starts telling the girls like everything about him. The size of his shillelagh, the sexual noises he makes in bed, that how like he sounds like a dolphin and everything, and she imitates it. So Viva's all like, oh, that has to be my new ringtone, and she makes it her new ringtone and stuff. And so like needless to say, things are not working out for Viva when it comes to living with Holly. So then she tried to live with Zaz. Zaz and her family are very by the book. It's like they follow a schedule to the T. So they're having like tea time at the house, right? And all of her sisters are lined up on the sofa, all sitting the same way, all holding the cup the same way, all take a sip of tea at the very same time. Needless to say, that's not going to work out. So then Viva goes to live with Amber. And well, Amber wants to play dolls. The little Barbie doll is her. The little black Ken is Brandon. And she forces Viva to play the role of Brandon. Then Amber is all like, "Oh hey baby, how you doing?" And then jumps like him. But it's the doll Amber jumping the Ken doll Brandon and just like humping the crap out of him. Needless to say, Viva's not gonna live there either. So then it's like Amber and his Brandon, they're talking again, and she's trying once again to break up with him, but she can't because he's giving her the puppy dog face. Then she's talking about how like he's always jealous, and her phone rings and he wants to know who it is and stuff. So he takes her phone and he starts looking through it. Well, it's Zaz, and Zaz asked the question, "Have you dumped him yet?" So he's all like, "Wait a minute, you were serious about that?" So then he starts like begging and everything and all this other stuff, so she doesn't break up with him like again. Now it's time for them to play soccer, aka football. And they're a little scared because the other team is pretty big and tall, and they try their best, but it's just not working. So before they can start fighting dirty, the other team starts fighting dirty. Then Brandon comes over and he's all like, "I need to talk to you," while she's playing football and she's all soccer, and she's all like, "Can this wait?" Because she's playing. He's like, "No, we have to talk about this now. I'm gonna do it in front of your friend." He's all like, guess what he does? He breaks up with her. He's like, "We're done." Why? Because I heard you've been making fun of me, girls, and all this other stuff. He's all like, "You've been like talking about the size of my, you know what, and the noises I make. Those noises be for you." And she's all like, "Who did you hear this from?" He's all like, "Some little kid told me," and everything like that. She's like, "Who?" And she has no idea who it is because the only people she tells are her friends, and they didn't tell nobody. Well, remember when I said Zaz was mentoring that Muslim girl who never talks in this episode? Off screen, she talked. And she told Brandon everything. So now Amber's upset, and the whole, like, her group of friends, they're pissed too about how Brandon treated her. So they take it out on the other team, and it's a slugfest. When we see them next, there's like blood coming out their nose, side of their heads, all kind of stuff. Oh boy. So then Amber and Brandon talk like again, and they get back together again, and he wants to do it again. So they go to his little special place, which is like a little kid's like playhouse outside. I don't know, they're at a park or what. And when they go in there to do it, Viva's living in there because she has no other place to live. Well, afterwards, she decides to go back home and everything, and she talks to her dad and tells her dad, your girlfriend needs to start treating me better and all this other stuff. And then like when she goes to her room, the girlfriend's already in there redecorating for like the baby, and she's all like, "Rejoin the team, but you need to stop redecorating my room." And so the girlfriend like does it and stuff. And then so it's like Viva just walking through like the city. We see her walk past like Mel and give her a banana while Mel is asleep on the bench, not attending to her baby or nothing. We see the two dudes on like the shopping cart, and Viva makes them stop going into like the bowl and stuff. And it just like ends, and the intro song is amazing. I love this song. It's actually also the song, the end credit song, and it's also the song for their music video. This show is insane. You have to check it out. Like the girls talk super fast and super British, so sometimes it's kind of hard to understand what they're saying, and they just yapper on so much. But it's insane. Like it's funny and hilarious and zany like Dairy Girls, but it's different from Dairy Girl. They deal with different situations and stuff. This is more a comedy, whereas Dairy Girl's more of a drama comedy and stuff. But they're both different. They're both the same. They're both hilarious. Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.